Alright, this is Jason with the Prepared Man. We're going to do a little video on water purification today. I've got just a classic tin cup, what everybody seems to call a Morse pot nowadays. They were made highly sought after by Morse Kohansky. I was gifted this one by a good friend, and that's all that we need. First, we're going to dip some water out of the stream here. This is just a little deep hole in a small stream that flows pretty good after a rain. We had some rain, a couple of days of rain a couple of days ago, so we've got a pretty good amount of water. Basically, when you dip the water out, you can dip it out any way you want to. Most people will recommend that you place the opening of your pot downstream where it doesn't pull any trash will openly flow in. And as you can see, the water's pretty murky right now, but I can see the bottom of the pot, and it's at the bottom of the spout, so we're going to go ahead and boil it and see what we got going. Alright, we got a fire built here, a basic tripod with a toggle hanging down in the center. We're just going to feed the toggle through the handle on the pot. Hopefully it does not pour out all over the fire. And we're going to let this water boil. There are a lot of questions about how long you want to let your water boil. You know, whatever you think suits you. My sister is a biologist. She's a microbiologist, and she says that anything under 12 minutes, you could be risking coming across some heat-resistant germs, bacteria, whatever you want to call them. I'm not necessarily a scientist, but Cryptosporidium and Giardia can become heat-resistant. So I would imagine that the longer you let your water boil, the better it's going to be. Now this tripod is adjustable. We're going to either adjust it down or build the fire up a little bit and let it boil for about 12 minutes. So we'll see you back in about 12. Alright, now after I didn't really keep close track, 12, maybe 15 minutes, we got a rolling boil on our water. We can actually lift the tripod, bring it up a little bit. You can actually swing it over where it's off of the fire. Get your gloves or a forked stick. Works well also. I like to carry a pair of leather gloves in my pocket, in my pack. Take this off the fire. And we're going to let it set and cool. And once it gets cool, if there's sediment in the bottom of it, maybe you want to filter it. Maybe you don't have anything to filter it with. If you know, if there's sediment in the bottom of it, and you know, it's going to be up to you whether you mind drinking that or not. The sediment's probably not going to hurt you because it's been sterilized by the 212 degrees for at least 12 minutes. This probably maybe been boiling 12, maybe 15 minutes. But you're going to have water that is good to drink, good to cook with. I would even go as far to say that, you know, if I had a wound, if I had a knife cut, axe cut, anything like that that I needed to irrigate with sterile water out in the bush, this is going to be good enough for me to use right here. So a lot of this is your own preference, but you know, depending on what kind of situation you're in, if you're in a bushcrafting situation, you're most likely going to be using it to cook with or to drink. If you're in a survival situation, drinking water is going to be your biggest concern. But you know, there are a lot of people that don't discern the difference between bushcrafting and survival, and there's a big difference. Bushcrafting is something that you're going to get out here in the woods and do like I do, like Brett does, like Brandon does. You know, anybody that you see here on these videos, we do this because we love it. We do this, we don't do it for money. We do it just because we love to do it. Survival is something that you're going to be faced with at some point in time, and you may not have a bush pot with you. You're just going to have to adapt to your own situation, your own gear that you have. In just a few minutes, I have some other forms of water purification laid out over here. We're going to cover those in just a minute, and we'll catch back up with you there. Okay, here we are back with the water. It's still hot, so it's not cooled down enough just to drink. It'd be good to make tea or coffee with at this point in time. But I'm going to cover a few more things that are readily available. 3 out of the 6 of these items that are laying here I got at Walmart Supercenter. The first one is a chlorine dioxide tablet, and because it doesn't say on the packaging that you will have in your pack, I wrote down, I keep a little Right in the Rain notebook with a couple of pencils, ruler just for the heck of it, and I also keep a spare candle just because candles provide, in an emergency situation, they provide a lot of moral support as light. They also are a good fire starter that is indispensable in the rain. So Horace Kephart, in his book, says that a small piece of candle is indispensable for starting a fire in a driving rain. But that's why I keep a candle in there. But first we have chlorine dioxide tablets made by Potable Aqua. I got these at Walmart Supercenter. They 1 tablet, and there are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I do believe that there are 20 in a package. I keep 10 around a bottle of iodine tablets, which we'll cover in a second. I keep 10 of them folded up and wrapped around with just some small Ranger bands I made out of a bicycle inner tube. But there are 10 of these tablets in my pack. 10 of those will sanitize 1 quart of water, but for the chlorine dioxide tablets it takes 4 hours. You put these in 1 quart of water, 32 ounces, or 1 liter, which is pretty well close enough, and you have to let it sit for 4 hours before it is drinkable. So these are good, they're handy, they're packaged in foil. Once you open it, you got to use it right away or its potency goes away. The next tablet form that I have is the Potable Aqua iodine tablets. 2 of these tablets will sanitize 1 quart, and it only takes 30 minutes. The thing about the iodine tablets is you need to know whether you're allergic to iodine or not. Some people are, and that's not a viable option for it. So, you know, if you know that you are or are not allergic to iodine, then, you know, that may or may not be an option for you. Some more options that I have here that are readily available. 2 of these I bought at a Sportsman's Warehouse The other one I bought at a Walmart Supercenter. All of these that you see here were under $20. They're actually drinking straws. This one is a Frontier emergency filter. It's just a basic water filter straw that it has a removable tube. Put the tube on this end, and you actually put this in down in the water source and drink from the straw. This one was, if memory serves right around $10. The packaging said that it will filter somewhere in the neighborhood of about 50 gallons of water. That's kind of hard to keep track of if you're out in the bush, but you know, for $10, the packaging also said that it removed 99.9996% of Cryptosporidium and Giardia. So, you know, that's a pretty good filter. The next one is called the Frontier Pro. It's right around the $20 mark. It's made by the same company as the first one, but the only difference is it has a removable cap. It has a bite valve that you can actually put in your mouth and bite and draw the water through the straw. It has a couple of different options. This end, if you take the straw off of it, is threaded to fit, say, a soda bottle or a water bottle. I'll be honest with you, I've not had any luck trying to get it to fit on a water bottle. I have a Dasani water bottle right here that I tried to get it to thread on and it wouldn't, but that's not a big deal for me. I don't normally carry a Dasani water bottle. It also has another adapter. You can screw this one off of the end, and this one is actually an adapter that will fit on the tube for a hydration bladder, such as Camelback. The hydration bladders that you get at Walmart Supercenter work just fine. You can actually fill your hydration bladder up and filter it as you drink it with this one. I like that option better than I do for the first one that I showed. I actually carry both tips because upon occasion I do carry a water bladder with me, but most of the time it's either just a water bottle, canteen of some kind. The next one is the Sawyer. They are very popular water filters with backpackers and hikers. This one is actually a Sawyer Mini. It came from Walmart Supercenter for $19.95, and it has a straw with it. It has an arrow on it that denotes the flow. You take this cap off and you actually draw the water. You use your mouth on this end and draw the water out of the water source. This one actually comes with a 16-ounce filter bag that screws on this end. You can fill the 16-ounce bag up with water from any source and actually squeeze it through. Kind of like drinking from a Capri Sun. You squeeze the bag and the water comes through. This one also comes with a 60 cc or 60 milliliter flush syringe. This filter is actually reusable. You can back flush it with fresh water when you get home. The packaging actually says that this water filter will filter up to 100,000 gallons of water before it needs replacement. I don't know. This is a brand new one. I've never used it, but all you have to do is take fresh water and back flush it in the direction of the opposite of the flow direction, and back flush it and clean it out when you get back home to a fresh water source. Now, all of these things are said to disinfect water by themselves, and in an emergency situation, yeah, I would probably trust that. if I have the resources, which in my opinion, and this is just my honest opinion, I don't think you should ever step into the woods without at least 3 ways to make a fire, and without at least 1 container. Doesn't matter the size. You can actually adjust. Most of the tablets that you get are made for 1 U.S. quart or liter. But if I have a 16-ounce water bottle, then I can cut one of these chlorine dioxide tablets in 2. That will, 1 U.S. quart is 32 ounces, 16 ounces is half of that. So you can take your knife and cut one of these in 2 and sanitize 16 ounces of water. You can use 1 of the iodine tablets to sanitize 16 ounces of water. But if there's any way possible, I prefer to boil and either use a filter or chemicals, both. That probably is the safest way that I could imagine to sanitize water, where it's going to make me feel a lot better, especially if I'm in an area where I've never drunk the water. I don't know what's upstream from me, but if at all possible, you need to boil your water. Either way, I would say that boiling would probably be my best option, but if you can use both, then I would use both. And also, I have some other information written down in my little notebook. I have the information for both of the tablets that I carry. I have the information that says roll and boil for 12 minutes. For bleach, use 2 drops of liquid Clorox bleach. If it's something that you throw in some type of light safe container, bleach does not store very well in a clear container. You need something that's opaque, something that the sunlight can't get to. If you carry bleach in a small dropper bottle, 2 drops for 1 quart, and let it agitate it and let it set for 30 minutes. You can also use 2% tincture of iodine, the liquid iodine. It's a good idea that you carry that, because it's also a very good wound antiseptic, but you can use it to sanitize water with. You need to use 5 drops per quart for clear water, and 10 drops per quart for cloudy. And for the liquid iodine to work, it needs to be above 68 degrees Fahrenheit.